Let's reflect. Is it possible to change your life, to change the direction of your life in your late 30s, 40s, 60s? Is it ever too late? The question is, are you willing to experience discomfort? Are you willing to learn something new, to grow, and to be okay with uncertainty? Because oftentimes what keeps us is the comfort of the known, and sometimes it can be very uncomfortable as well. We might be in a toxic work environment, or not the right relationship, or not in the right country where we want to live, and yet we stay there because it's known. And this is the mind, the ego, that we always scream at new changes, and it's your willingness to put that voice aside and to understand that it might be shaky, and it might be difficult in the beginning. Sorry if you're hearing a lot of nature noises, but yeah, I'm in Ubud in the jungle kind of setting, so cannot cancel that one. And I think if you have the expectation that things happen just like that and you won't need to put any effort or go through some challenges internally and externally, then most probably people just quit midway or just at the start. And if it was as easy, we'd all be having healthy diets and fit bodies and having all these amazing habits and be productive and building the life of our dreams, but we don't. We know how many times people promise at New Year's to quit smoking or to start a healthy diet or going to the gym, and then few days, few weeks, few months in, and well, months usually is already much better. But yeah, we usually quit because we're not prepared. And so I think it's really important to negotiate with yourself, to have this understanding that any change, any progress could be slow, and there's always going to be a part of you that's going to fight it. And this part is the mind, the ego, call it whatever you want, but there's a part of you that's going to want to attach to the past, even if it's uncomfortable, and to keep things as they are because we're used to it. So if you decide to go and exercise tomorrow, you might do it for a day, for 2 days, but there's always going to be that part of you that's going to be like, oh, today I'm not feeling it, or my body hurts, let's just go and relax in front of the TV, whatever habitual thing you were doing before. And it's really important to know yourself and what you do inside of you, so to build this awareness and to agree with yourself and to understand that, okay, a new habit that's a healthier habit perhaps will take some time to build, and there's this part in me that is going to try to convince me that it's too hard, or I don't want to do it, or there's another excuse. But you agree with yourself that you, as a human being, as a person with choice, can reflect and can decide for himself, for herself, that from tomorrow, let's say we're going to be going to the gym 3 times a week, and this is your decision and you stick to it no matter what. Now, of course, if your body is really hurting and destroyed, then yeah, listen to your body as well, but not to the excuses of laziness and just doing the habitual things. Now, does it require a positive attitude and courage and encouragement from yourself or from your friends? Of course, it's much more healthy and holistic to perhaps give yourself some rewards, to know that, you know, maybe it's hard now, but hey, we're gonna get used to it in 21 days, they say, in 30 days or whatever. It's just a life change that I'm making, and just any habit change or any life transition requires some effort, because pushing too much, although I do think that there's effort involved, but if you're really kind of pushing yourself and just blaming yourself and feeling guilty, that doesn't bring you anywhere. So talk to yourself like you talk to a very good friend or your precious child. Now, when changing direction in life, do you have to have it all figured out? And previous me would say yes, of course, because you need a plan and you need to stick to it, and it's so dangerous. But now version of me believes that no, we can't really know and expect how it's going to be. Now, do you need a direction? Of course. Know where you're going, know what your kind of goal is, or towards what you are working, you are changing, but also be open that things might go a different way, completely different way. You might just change directions while changing directions, and that you're just figuring it out. So be willing to be open and flexible, learn from others, learn from your own mistakes and challenges, and see where this takes you. And my personal example is that I've been now traveling for 3 months. I've been blessed with meeting really interesting people that do different things, and we've had this really amazing conversations where I've learned a lot, and I've also gotten inspired and gotten ideas of things that I would like to do or how I would like to pursue things. And so this is how we learn in life. So the point is, rather than sticking to a very firm plan and thinking that you need to have it all figured out up front, that puts tremendous pressure on a person. Be open and be willing to learn from people you meet, from the world, and be open to change direction anytime. Because whoever I've spoken to, let's say in business life, it's really interesting to hear that people, like from an inception of an idea and the way it's developed, it's like day and night. And so it's that flexibility and openness that allows you to grow as a person and learn and to change direction. Now, of course, prepare yourself mentally, physically, take care of your responsibilities. We all have things that we need to take care of, or other people as well. So make sure that this transition is as safe and smooth as possible, if possible. Just give yourself some time and give yourself that space, that openness, that perhaps things are going to go a different direction, and I'm just going to, my idea or whatever career is going to take me a different way. Humility in growth. And this is to expect that if you're starting something brand new, you need to be humble. You need to understand that you might start from basic steps and grow from there, and so it won't be perfect. Sometimes it won't be pretty. I've observed in music and in starting a business in the past, where I would approach it with a kind of attitude of like, I need to be already know it all and be perfect and do everything how I imagined it to be, but it's not like this at all, right? We start from somewhere, and I think the only comparison that's healthy to do is how you were in the past and the progress that you've done. And so a humble approach and humility and making mistakes and laughing about them and embracing them actually will just help you manage your expectation and see the realistic progress that you are doing. Aim for the highest goal that you can to direct your life and your purpose in life. Of course, it has to be very well thought and considered, but I feel like many times we set this realistic goals and we aim so small because we're taught that we're small and that we need to be realistic in life, and but what's realistic? I think that we actually do not know what our potential is and what we can achieve. And we can see, as an example in our world, the people that question what can be achieved and really push the boundaries are the ones that are actually changing the worlds and industries. It doesn't mean that it has to be something super important for the world. You can aim to be the best student in the world for yourself in your own way, to be the best mother that you can be to a child. So it's not about how big is the goal in terms of social aspect. And I've observed this belittling in my life with something new that I'm pursuing, like music. I started only 3 years ago, and I've never studied music. So in the beginning, I wouldn't allow myself to even think, dream that I could create songs and put them out in the world. But why not? Yeah, so now I'm actually on the path to create an album because it's my passion and it really directs my life, and to produce some songs. Now, is my aim to be the next Britney Spears? No, but who knows? But if I can create one song that's an idea that I can birth into this world, into something beautiful, and some other people can connect to this idea, then my aim is completed, and I've created something that comes through me into this world. And I've created something beautiful, something meaningful, hopefully. And yeah, that's an expression of what's inside of me that goes through me, and I created with my own hands, voice, whatever instrument, into this world, and that's important to me. Now, I invite you to ponder what is important to you. What could you do that would be for the highest good of yourself, of your family, of the whole world? Aim as high as you can. And even if we don't reach that height, but having this worthwhile goal will definitely direct your life, and also challenges. That brings me to the next point, that life has challenges and uncertainties, and this is why it's so important to have this strong aim and direction in your life, because when faced with challenges, you know how to navigate them, and you have that strength. Why am I doing this? Why am I making these sacrifices sometimes? Sacrifice. What a word that we don't like. But it's important to understand that to achieve what we want in the long term, you need to be willing to make some sacrifices over short-term desires. So I've seen it happen here in my trip. Of course, I am traveling around, and I am a very social person. I love meeting new people and I love experiencing new things, but there's always this question: are you going to sit and work on the things that are important to you, like your music, business, or whatever you're pursuing? Or you're going to go and have fun, basically? And yeah, of course, the sacrifice can be in the beginning, like starting something new requires a lot of effort, learning, discipline. Then after a while, of course, you can make your own work-life balance. The quicker this realization comes that the responsibility is all on us, for the way we are, the way we feel, the way we think, the way we speak, the way we act, and what we do in our life. It's all on us. Of course, there are circumstances and they are all different, but the focus should always be on my own responsibility and my growth, rather than blaming people around you or the society or the circumstances. And it's just my character that for years I've wanted things to happen fast, happen overnight, and to be the best at everything. And I am very well aware of this type of thinking, of my expectations of myself. And yeah, I've learned to see that consistent effort not only builds confidence, but also allows you to progress in a very certain way. So it's much better to play guitar, let's say, every day, even 15 minutes, rather than once a week for 4 hours. And I think it's the same for anything you're aiming towards. Listening to your inner voice, and that's a very important skill to develop and to nourish in your life, because very often people around you will not support the changes that you're making in your life, just because habitually, again, we like things the way they've been. And so if you have a stable job and you're changing a career, or you're changing your partner, or you're changing the country you live in, people around you might not understand. And it's very important to have this connection within you, and if it's something that you truly want and it's your aim, then you don't listen to anyone else. It's not their life, it's not their right to advise you even on what is good for you. And so develop that really firm relationship and trust with yourself. Say that we are a combination of the 5 closest people to us, and I think it's very important to surround yourself with people that support you and are aiming at least for a similar lifestyle than yours. So if you're trying to get off alcohol, maybe not a good idea to be still hanging out with the friends in a bar. Perhaps you can meet someone new in a gym where you're trying to go every day now. So the same goes for people that have worked their whole life in a corporate job. They will all tell you that the business is hard, that it's risky and shouldn't be pursued, that there's safety in a corporate world, which partially is true, each their own. But yeah, great idea to maybe meet people that have their own businesses and then exchange some ideas, and then you'll see that they have a completely different mindset about business. And try to surround yourself with people that are somehow similar to you, to what you want to achieve, or at least supportive of your growth and make you believe in yourself. Of course, this belief has to come first and foremost from inside, but it's also great if you have some people around you that have similar views in the world and can support you. So that's it for this video today. I hope my sharing has brought some questions maybe, or some reflection about your own life. I would really love it if you would like to start a discussion in the comment section, share some of your own tips. I'm really happy to connect with everyone. Know that wherever you are, whatever stage in your life you are, there's always a chance to change, and you owe it to yourself actually to go after your dreams. With love, Yana.